All right, so here is my example. I decided to do it on working out. And so I've got a little class called workout, and I've got the exercise. For sets, I made that nullable because if it's cardio, they're probably not going to do sets. And then I've got the number of minutes. And so they enter these three pieces of data. And then I have total exercises and total minutes being calculated. And I'm really only calculating in the first element because I have like an array of exercises. So you can see here, I've got the operator plus plus overloaded, and I'm adding to the total exercises for the day. Here I've got operator plus, and I am adding in time. So whatever number of minutes they have entered here, that gets added into the total minutes. Then I did the greater than, but when you create the greater than, you also have to create the less than. The only one I'm actually using in the code is the greater than. And you can see that I've got two different workout. They're actually two different days. And then I'm comparing the minutes. And so if the first day was bigger than the second, it returns true. Otherwise, it's going to return false because that's what it was set to. And you can see here, I've got my objects. I'm doing arrays. So I've got the first day routine and the second day. Maximum number of exercises is 15. And then I kind of loop through and I create the objects for each of the arrays. And then I go about filling in the first day's data. So I've got a Boolean I set to true, and then I've got like a little counter to keep track of how many exercises I've entered. And then I add one to the counter. And so enter the exercise you completed. And so you can see that we're doing that with the number of sets and the number of minutes. And then I'm using element 0 to accumulate some totals. So here's where I'm calling the overloaded binary operator or unary operator, excuse me, it's plus plus. And then here's where I'm calling the overloaded binary operator, which is the plus sign operator plus. So it's going to take these minutes and add them into the total. And here it's just accumulating one, adding one into total exercises every time. And I am doing it in the first element. Then I ask, hey, do you want to, do more? Read that in. And if they do, we just continue adding the exercises, adding to the total, adding to the minutes. And then when they quit out of that, we enter the next day's exercises. And so you can see I've got a separate counter, day 2. And here the array is the day 2 routine. And then for my day 2 routine at element 0 is where I've got my total number of exercises and total minutes. And then we get to printing the information. So I print out the day 1 workout information, and I can access the total exercises by going into my day 1 routine at subscript 0 or index 0 and grabbing total exercises because that's where I stored it. Okay, and then I do a little for each, and all I'm printing out here is the exercise, the sets, and the minutes. Then I pretty much do the same thing for day 2. And then as far as the total minutes go, that is where I'm going to use that overloaded operator greater than. So we're looking at and actually this should change to 0. Because that is where I stored the total minutes. So we've got the day 1 routine total minutes, checking if that's greater than day 2. And if it is, then I calculate the difference. So I just take my day 1 total minutes and subtract out the day 2, store them here, and then I print that out. then if that's false, then I am basically taking the day 2 total minutes and subtracting out the day 1. So if the day 1 is greater than day 2, awesome. I subtract day 2 from day 1. Otherwise, I subtract day 1 from day 2 and print that out. So let us run this. Okay, exercise data for day 1. We'll do a bicep curl, 15 minutes. And then let's do tricep. We'll do that 20 minutes. And I'm going to be lazy and just do 2 things. All right, now we're doing day 2. Let's do the adductor machine. And let's see, we'll do 20 minutes there. The abductor, so we're doing inner and outer thigh basically. And then we'll do 20 minutes there. Let me quit. All right. So here's my day 1 information. 2 exercises is right. Bicep curl, 3 sets, 15 minutes. Tricep dip, 3 sets, 20 minutes. That's all right. Then down here, we did 2 exercises, adductor and abductor, 20 minutes each. And the difference is 5 minutes. So that worked. All right. And so that is basically my overloaded operator program. And the operators that I have in main are plus, 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 and greater than. Those are the ones that I used. As far as what I found easy or difficult, I think the hardest thing was coming up with an idea. So an idea that would work because you have to have some kind of numeric data. That was probably the hardest thing. Other than that, maybe figuring out, the best way to handle doing the totals. Other than that, I did not think it was all that difficult. Obviously, because I put mine in an array, I do have to check to make sure that things are filled in because I only did in my demo, I only did 2 exercises, but it had space for 15. So if I don't want, 13 empty things printed out, you do have to check to make sure there is something there, which I chose to do minutes because that's just pretty easy to check.